Good morning, good morning, good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Rise and Slay Morning Show. My name is Rochelle Slay Queen Hemingway, CEO and founder of Slay to Success. I advise and empower women professionals, especially women veterans, to step up into their most authentic personal brand to gain and attract lucrative opportunities. And we are using 4 different particular areas. Okay. It is appearance, behaviors, communication skills, and our digital presence. Because once we master these areas, we get the things that we desire and we deserve. And so I am a professional keynote speaker, a personal brand expert, certified image consultant, an author of several books, and most importantly, a proud United States Air Force veteran of 30 years. Okay. So as you come into the show today, please let me know where you're streaming in from. Give me a shout out because you decided to stick around and listen in on what I'm going to be sharing with you today. This is the Rise and Slay Morning Show where I talk about personal branding. Okay. I talk about it at length. I give you some tips and insights. So that way, if you are an inspiring entrepreneur, if you are transitioning from one career to the next career, or you're just looking at getting the most out of that next act, next chapter of your life, this is a show where you need to come back to. I have a whole bunch of shows on the Slay to Success YouTube channel where you can go and subscribe and you can get the latest and greatest that come out every week. Not only do I have this show, but I also have the Slay to Success Talk Show, which airs every Sunday night. Well, I'm going to say every selected Sunday nights at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And that's when I bring in a guest. And we are talking about leadership, wellness, mindset, personal branding, of course, and business strategies, because I created these platforms so that way I can continue to practice and to show up in this space that I am occupying. So if you are here, let me know. Okay, Stacy, how you doing, Queen? Thanks for tuning in live. Thanks for joining me this morning. Hope you are doing well. It is raining outside, y'all, here in the DMV. Okay, the DMV is the District of Washington. Then we have Maryland and we have Virginia, but it is pouring down out here. It's a little bit gloomy, but that's okay. Okay, because we are showing up. Now, today I worked out and I'd like to share here about what I do, my workouts, because it is a way to inspire us, to get us going, to get us, into the right mindset. And so I have been working heavily, y'all, on my sprints and my heavy lifting. So that is what I did this morning. I am a Peloton app person, so I just push start and I just do. Okay, we need a system sometimes to get through our routine. And in this next chapter, it is the best chapter, okay, because I'm taking my time. I'm really focusing on my healthy habits and my eating style and all the things. Hey, JW, what's going on up in here? Up in here. Good morning. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go this morning. I hope you are doing well. It's so good to see you here live. I got to have you on my Slay to Success talk show. Okay. So look for a DM in your Facebook Messenger here in the next couple of days so we can get you on the show. All right. So now, y'all, this morning, we are going to be talking about you. Now, I have been talking about you, us, we all this time, but let's just get a little bit into what you are doing. Okay. And ask yourself, what if I'm the message? Now, I am on LinkedIn every day, every single day. Okay. And on LinkedIn, I shared with my network, if you will, my community, that we are not our title. We are not our logos. We are not even these reels that we're putting out here in these social media streets. Okay. We are talking about you, the person that gets these wins that nobody really gets to see. Okay. We are moving silently. We're not sharing a whole lot. I mean, we do share, but we don't share all the intimate details on how we got to where we are at. And so sometimes we are looking, at everybody else and what they're doing. We're not really confronting our chaos that we have amongst us. We all have distractors. We all have things that are going on behind the scenes. we are sometimes thinking, oh, you know what, we can't step in our full alignment. Okay. So we may be showing up on stage one way, we may be showing up online one way, and we may be showing offline one way. So let me just break this down just a little bit and share with you like my story, my journey, if you will. So I transitioned out of the Air Force in 2021. In June, I was on the retirement stage. In October, I was officially retired at 30 years and 25 days. Now, I had the uniform on for 3 decades. Okay, that's really all I knew. I didn't explore outside of that. I was in my bubble. I had my head down and I was working and I was getting the job done. And so, the military is on ranks, it's on titles, all right? People knew of you before you even went to a particular assignment because they can look you up or they can ask questions, and people knew people who knew people that knew you. All right. That's just how the system is designed. If you stay in it for a very long time, then your name suddenly gets bought up into rooms that you're not even in. And so you are building a brand in the system. Now, this can apply for anybody who's been in a career for a very long time, too. It doesn't have to be necessarily from the military, but that's my background. All right. So when I took the uniform off, and again, I was in my closet, I was crying, I was having a whole situation. All right. I had to really ask myself, these stripes are gone. Okay. So where is my confidence level right now? The credibility and authority that I instantly got is there no more because we moved here from South Dakota. And I'll tell you, we didn't really know a lot of people. I mean, I have family here, but we weren't as close because we were gone. Me and my husband both served 30 years in the Air Force. So we were always constantly gone. So the wake up call for me was, how do you build your confidence level after knowing something very well and performing at a very high level of leadership to the point where, all the stress and that pressure, it almost became normal. I was very comfortable in the uncomfortable. Yes, there was a lot of crying. Yes, there was a lot of issues that were happening in my head. But for the most part, I was able to get through that. Right. So I had to like really talk to myself and talk out the disempowering thoughts and ask myself, what can I do to realign, rebrand, and reclaim my life? All right. My whole entire life. Now, part of what I've been able to do. Hey, Tish. Good morning, Queen, and happy to slay. Welcome to the Rise and Slay Morning Show. Thank you so much for being here live with us this morning. Any information that you have that you want to share, just go ahead and put it in the chat. Okay. So I really had to ask myself, like, how do I reclaim, rebrand, realign my life? One of the things that I knew for myself is I like to talk a lot. I started to recognize when people were giving me the microphone while I was still serving that I was very comfortable with that. Sometimes I didn't even need a microphone. All right. I would just be talking. And people would lean in and they were listening. And I saw the interaction and I was able to connect to audiences in different ways. And so I said, during the pandemic, I'm just going to create my own little show. Yeah, right now, it was a way for me to communicate because we could not communicate to everybody across the installation, across the military base, if you will. And so, when others were afraid to get out there and to push live on the, screen or whatever platform you were on, I wasn't. And so I used my office as the platform and I would just, hey, how you doing, y'all? What's going on? How's everybody feeling? What questions do you have about the COVID rules, policies that are in place? How's families doing this and that? I started getting all these responses. People were afraid because they're like, oh my goodness, they're out there asking questions and they're asking leadership and all this other stuff. But I was like, it was my way to connect. And so, how do I use that in this next chapter? this is when I created these shows. So again, I have these two shows. And so the Rise and Slay morning show, all right, as the one you're in right now, has been so crucial to how I show up because it's accountability, first of all. All right. I say I'm going to be here at 10 o'clock. Today, I was there like 10:01 or whatever, but I was here. I'm here. And not only am I recognizing the growth that I've been having in my own personal journey, but others around me have too. So I'm going to share with you all this gift that my husband and my son got me. You see this? This is my new bag. It is Rise and Slay. Okay. It's a purse that I'm going to be rocking today. Okay. And I also got the wallet. Now, I have seen this online because I have the show and it pops up on our feeds. You know how it goes. And so they're recognizing, okay, what is happening. They see me rising. They feel this shift that they have that is happening around me. And they know I'm about to go to a new level. All right. I'm about to slay to a new level. And I'm recognizing that too, right? Listen, Stacy, when I opened the bag for this is my Mother's Day gift, okay, I could not even contain my excitement. Now, AJ is 15, y'all. And 15-year-olds, they're kind of like, he was doing a half smile. He was like, and I was like, oh my gosh, look at this bag. I can't wait to match it. And they were just like, you need to calm down. And I was like, no, you don't even know. So I absolutely love my gift. They were very intentional. They were very thoughtful. They have seen me in a new way. And they're like, they're promoting me, and that's the thing that we want to see. So that is the message. Slay is the message. I have been talking about Slay. I was using it while I was in the military. Now I'm using it in this next chapter as I am growing, expanding, just really getting into my own zone. And this is what I'm talking about. What is your own zone? What is the message that you want to share that you've been trying to get out, but for whatever reason, maybe you holding yourself back, maybe other people are holding you back, maybe you don't know the clarity around the message that you're trying to send. Maybe you don't have the confidence level right now to get to where you're at. This is where I talk to you a little bit about how or the insights to how you can get there. So I have my notes here so that way I can stay on track. So today's message for sure is you are the message. You're not your resume. You're not your logos if you have a business, and you're not your website. All right. You have what you need to do whatever it is that you want to do. You just need to just create a little bit of strategy around it, and then you need to execute and take some action. So, are you sending mixed signals? Okay, that's what we want to know. Are we sending mixed signals when it comes to engaging with whoever, okay, that we are serving? All right, so let's see here. So I'm on stages a lot. Okay, Tispiration is a movement spreading kindness and creativity. I love that, Tish. I love that, and it is a movement. So I'm on a lot of stages. Okay, so when I'm presenting and I get an opportunity to present again this Friday, they have a military veteran, military spouse event in Virginia that they reached out and said, hey, are you available? And I said, yep, absolutely. Created a whole presentation, y'all. I'm going to have a booth. It's going to be amazing. All right. Again, it's right in alignment with what I am doing. But when I'm presenting, speaking, I'm leading, I want to command attention. All right. Now, I could command attention when I was in the military because I had the uniform on. And when you have a whole bunch of stripes, okay, and then a star or a diamond, whatever the case may be, people start to take notice. Now, they may not like, warm up to you right away, because it takes a while for you to build trust, and build a relationship with people. But how can I do the same types of things now in my next chapter? One is I'm all about dressing like boldly. Now, when I'm here on the show, there's a way that I dress here on the show, okay? But when I go on stages, it's about 10 levels up, because that's the energy that I have right now. I have built myself up so much over the past 30 years that now I understand. And over some introspective, I've been learning myself more and more. I understand that I love to dress up. And why not elevate my clothes in such a way where people can't just they're like, who is this woman? you know so it's my power suits. I have power suits, I have power dresses, but whatever that is, all right, you have to be able to match that level of energy that you have. So on stage, I have a particular energy. Online, the energy is about the same. All right. I know that, I have my LinkedIn community. Hey, LinkedIn, where I'm on here every day. I have a signature email, my tagline, keep on slaying until you can't slay no more. I have my picture. My picture for my social media is either the one with the flowers in the background, or the one, where I'm holding my hand. These pictures, or that picture, is very intentional, and it is on all my social media platforms so people can recognize me. All right. Then offline, when I am with the girls at brunch, or if I am walking around in these stores out here, getting whatever, you know, I want to make sure that I'm showing up in alignment with the Slay Queen. Okay. Slay Queen is persona too. And so, what is that for you? What does that look like for you? Okay. Because if there are three different versions saying that one way you're on stage, and then one way you're online, and one way you're offline, and they don't match up, there, you cannot connect the dots. There is something happening that is not in alignment. Your brand is going to be confusing. And we don't want confused brands out here. So we constantly have to take inventory and assessment. All right. I don't just put on clothes when I go outside. I don't put on a pair of sweats and a t-shirt and just say, hey, I'm out here. Because inevitably somebody comes to me and says, do I know you? I think I've seen you before. And, I'm like, hey, maybe you've seen me at an event. I'm part of the Chamber of Commerce here, the local Chamber of Commerce here. I'm part of another Chamber of Commerce in Maryland. So you may have seen me there, or you may have seen me online. But I don't just step out here just any old type of way. All right. I don't want my brand to be confused, because if I say I am the Slay Queen, the Slay Queen needs to show up. Okay. So again, what is that for you? People don't follow inconsistency. They don't promote confusion. All right. They don't pay for chaos. They invest in clarity. So in alignment, you have to understand what it is that you're doing and be very consistent. The people will show up. I know sometimes it can get a little bit frustrating. I remember when I was starting my business, and I was like, where is everybody? I feel like I've been saying the same thing over and over and over and over again. Well, I had to be clear on the message and who I was serving and what are the results that you're going to get. Now, the results that people have when they work with me is straight up confidence. Confidence to do whatever it is that they want to do. They want to go into that next level. And so I help them to build their confidence so that way they can go out and say who they are, what they do, how they do it. They can get on these social media platforms because they are free, FREE, and they could share their message because they know their message, they know their story. All right. They know what style they have and that they're going to go and now redo these wardrobes so it matches who that next level woman or man, I've had a man who I've had as a client, want to be. So, we have to make sure that we're very clear, because this is where the rubber meets the road. All right. So we have to integrate all these different pieces of ourselves, all the parts of us. And I have many layers, okay, as you do too. Okay. I am a veteran. Okay. I am a veteran's spouse. I am a wife. I am a mom. I am a daughter. I am a sister. Um, I am a real big personality. All right. I have a lot of layers to me, as you do too. Okay. I'm also the boss. Okay. I'm a CEO. So I'm the boss of my own business and I'm minding my own business. And so we have to have these things walk together. They can't be competing against one another. And we have to have this whole full picture, and we have to be able to share the full picture so that way people get to know us a little bit better. And I'm not talking about vomiting everything that you got going on in your life. That's not what I'm talking about. But I am talking about sharing the different pieces of yourself just a little bit with the people who are interested in you, and not being afraid. All right. But then again, we have to make sure that we're sharing the right pieces of information. So, a lot of times I don't tell people that I served in the military for, X amount of years. That comes later on in conversation as we are, talking through. And then if the question comes up, so what have you been doing? What was your career? Okay, then I share, right? But other than that, I want to be a little bit mysterious. I want people to be a little bit shocked. I want people to be a little bit curious as to who this woman is and how she is showing up every single time in the way that she does with the energy. I have a different level of energy, because I understand where I have came from, and I see that I don't look like what I've been through. Okay, so I say to all of you who are listening in, making sure that you know where you're at. Now, we start from the SLAY Foundation, and I didn't share that with you in this show right away because I wanted to get to this part right here. But SLAY means to kill it, to dominate it, and to nail it, to be on point, to impress greatly, to dream big and work hard until you own it. It is also an acronym, which stands for Universal Life and Leadership Philosophies that really resonate with me the most. And hopefully it resonates with you too. And that is stay ready to be ready. Lead out loud, a sense of community, and you are built to last. Do you know, y'all, that every day when I'm working out, because that's where I start out every day, that mantra and these philosophies are in my head over and over and over again. It's almost like it's a chant. I chant about who I am. Like, I know for sure that I do things much differently than other people do. And I am honing in on these unique gifts and talents. And I am sharing with the people that I meet and that I know more and more and more. So, what is it that you got going on in your head? And what is it that you are sharing? And what is it that you are repeating over and over in your mind? That is it for me. So if I say I'm going to kill it, dominate it, and to nail it, to impress greatly, to dream big and work hard until you own it, you best believe that's the mindset that I'm going to have each and every day that I show up in anything that I do. Because how you do anything is how you do everything. That is my belief. Okay. That is how I continue to do what I do. And I've been in business, y'all, for what, 2.5, almost 3 years. I have not gone into another job. Again, I had an independent contracting job or whatever. And so it was great. But it wasn't really where I needed to be. This is what I should have been doing. And now I'm here and I'm doing it to the fullest that I possibly can. Hey, Chevy. Good morning, Queen, and happy to slay. Hope you're doing well, Queen. Oh, thank you. Listen, this top here, I've had it in the closet for a little while, and I don't even know why I keep missing it in the rotation. And so this morning I was like, wait a minute, I need to wear this top. Plus, it's raining out here, and there's, it needed to be worn today. So thank you so much for that, Queen. Um, so, um, if your audience loves you on a certain platform, and because again, we all should be on a platform. All right. I don't know which one you're on. I know for me, LinkedIn is my platform that I'm on every day. Facebook, I share every now and again. Instagram, I really don't go into Instagram and play into that per se. I can only focus on one platform at a time, y'all. I have my, I'm very much like focus on one thing. And that is the one thing that I can do because I'm a thought leader. And I like to share a lot of my thoughts in such a way where it does give people insight to who I am and how I think. So, wherever that is, you need to show up. All right. But if you aren't showing up as the same way that you are on these platforms, people are going to lose trust. You're going to lose impact and you're going to lose income. Now, income, all right, is something, especially in business, that we are generating or want to generate or should be generating in these business. All right. It's part of the business strategy. So, you don't want your brand to be confusing where people are like, who is this person? And why do they keep showing up differently here, there, and everywhere? Again, I meet people, and the way they show up on LinkedIn is way different than when I see them in person. And I'm like, I don't even know who it is, and I have had to put my foot in my mouth a lot of times because somebody says, oh, yeah, I'm so and so. And then I go look them up and I'm like, oh, no, like, why do you have your presentation and what you're speaking about on LinkedIn doesn't match to who I see in person? I don't even know, y'all. Okay. So here's the thing. If you want to slay, and that's what we were talking about, right? If you want to slay consistently, like a pro, this is what you need to be doing. All right. You need to focus on your brand voice. All right. Your brand voice it's not about sounding professional. It's about sounding like you. How do you speak? All right. I speak sometimes in a firm way, but yet and still in a bubbly and big way. I I I didn't smile. Well, I did smile when I was in uniform, but not as much as I have in this next chapter. And so people see me as this happy, free, exciting woman. And so and it matches me. This is who I am internally. I had to do a lot of, inner work for me, but my tone is a little bit spicy. All right. It's a little bit strategic. And everything that I'm writing, everything that I'm saying, everything that I'm posting is in a brand way. And so you can't brand what you won't own. You can't brand what you don't own. All right. So let's stop copy and pasting. Okay. Let's, figure out who we are for our brand voice and just put it out there, y'all, and see what you get. All right. Now, your digital footprint. Okay. I use my digital footprints as my silent ambassador. All right. It is the way that I have put my LinkedIn profile. If you go there and you see the about me, you're like, oh my goodness. It has nothing to do with I can measure, uh, whatever system spreadsheets, whatever. I, work well with teams and all. No, no, no. It is all about what I've experienced, what I like to do, and who I work with. And, it is a way for me to share with people the real me. Okay. Yes, I continue to work on my brand voice, and LinkedIn is my main platform of choice, followed by YouTube. Yes, So when you do know, you got to lean into that and build the brand on those platforms every single day, being consistent about what you're putting out there. And then, this is not about being perfect. Okay. I am not perfect by any stretch of imagination. If you all would see behind the scenes, you'd be like, she a hot mess. Okay. Now, when I show up, I do the best that I can. But, there are some YouTube shows on there that I'm like, oh my gosh, but I don't delete them because I want people to see my journey. I might not get the post right. I might not get names right. Things like that happen all the time. So we are humans, but people don't connect to perfect. All right. They want to see that you're just as human as they are. They want you to connect and see the messy, okay? Because it is messy. I have had this messy progress over time, and I'm vulnerable about it. I'm very transparent. I don't get everything right. And I want you all to see me. So I want you to trust the brand that I have with my whole heart. And so, you know, we have to make sure that, we have to be the highest expression of who we are, but not being perfect all the time. All right. So now look at your brands. Okay. Figure out what is your message and making sure that that message is in alignment with who you are. All right. I had to learn over time, and this is for many years. Okay. Again, I talk about personal branding because I started building my personal brand about 2018, and it's slowly grown over time where people can kind of connect the dots. All right. They hear the slay queen, they hear keep on slaying till you can't slay no more. They know the slay mantra. They know what I'm going to be talking about. You're talking about personal branding here or on my other show, leadership, wellness, mindset, whatever the case may be, right? So for me, it's about courage, it's about wisdom, it's about influence, it's about impact, and it's about the fire. So I had to work on aligning me after I transitioned out of the military and not polishing it up for perfection, but positioning it for power. So if you can get opportunities without you working hard, then your brand is branding. Okay. And that's what's happening. I am hashtag booked and busy. I was just telling Chevy, and Chevy's my accountability partner, that my calendar is so tight right now. I have to find time to get my nails and my hair done. And that is a challenge where it didn't used to be. But I had to fit things in. I had to clear the calendar. I had to back away for some things because people were like, hey, can you come speak here? Hey, can you present here? Hey, we have an opportunity. We have an event. Can you show up in this way? And sometimes it's not about me even being on the stage. It's just about me being in the room. And you right, Jeremy. JW said it just like this: presence over perfection. What is your presence? All right. People pay for presence. They pay for presence. They want you into the room because you elevate what they already have. So as you are continuing to build a brand, right? You understand that you are the walking message, you are the living legacy, and you are the movement. So that is the Rise and Slay morning show for this morning. Hopefully you all are doing well. Hope that you are slaying it in all the things that you are doing. Happy to slay, even though it's raining out here. That don't mean nothing, okay? Because our light is as bright as it can be. And so we got to get out here in these streets, whether it's in person or digitally, and help and serve other people so they can get it right for themselves too. All about elevating your presence, elevating your image, and elevating your impact. So as you keep going on, just remember that to brand, you need to brand, and you need to brand boldly. All right. And all the different ways that you can. And of course, keep on slaying. I'll show my purse again. Keep on slaying until you can't slay no more. And I will see you all very, very soon. Love y'all. Thank you for coming. We had Chevy, Stacy, JW, Tish. Thank you all for being here live with me this morning. And we see you all very, very soon. Bye-bye. You're welcome, Stacy.